Yeah, it is. Well, hello. Fancy seeing you here. It's Wednesday night, 6 o'clock ish. You know what that means? It's Elevate to Greatness with Nick Lippitt, where we help you grow and scale your business whilst avoiding costly mistakes. It is August, and we're running our asses off. So hopefully you are doing the same. We will talk about some exciting things we have coming up in my motherland. We will get into that. We will talk about what we want to from you today is your pain points. We want you to come at us with your pain points, bitches. Put them in the chit chat there. You can raise your hand and kind of talk about it. So we're going to be talking about pain points and how we solve them in Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living and ways that you can help solve your pain points in your business. Remember to go to elevatetogreatness.co for all the information about all the things we're doing, and we will get into the Utah stuff. But before we get into all of those things, Avery's here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nick Lippitt.
Thought you were going to give it over to Avery. Just let
I
it
was
be the
thinking
Avery.
about it. I was thinking about it. It's been a while.
I can go smash some golf balls in a simulator.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's
I got a
hosted.
hot simulator date in 54 minutes, Darby. So let's move this shit.
Okay, if you can end on time, we can all end on time. Let's see. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, don't even put that on me, even though you should, because it's 100% on me.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Happy Wednesday. Dude, it's so nice outside. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's gonna be 80s. I mean, 80 today, 80s this weekend.
Did you see Avery? He was wearing shorts that I can't even explain how short they were, and like little loafers.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was going to like some sort of like,
A
exotic
yacht
dance
club.
situation. It was like, yeah. Yeah,
No, this
it was
weather is awesome. And I mean, the phone always rings, but it's certainly making the phone ring even more, which is always nice.
people
How
want
are
their
the
pools.
consultations?
They've been really good. I mean, really solid. People are serious. Like I mean, I went kind of farther north today, but we talked to them before, and they were like, at what kind of told them pricing, and we're at that price, we're a very serious buyer. So people are like, there's a lot fewer tire kickers right now. People are pretty serious. They want to get it done. They want to get on the calendar. I mean, we closed the one this week, and she just had the bid for like 2 days and was like, let's roll, let's go. So people are quick, and that is what we like. Not the long drawn out, but the quick. That's what we like. So that's what we're seeing. So it's been good. Yeah.
Did Denver commit today? I saw the invoice request.
Yeah. I mean, he said by noon tomorrow.
Really?
That's what he said.
Do you have a color?
No, no, they're coming in for that. They're coming in for that.
Well, we can't wait till the end of next week if it's going to be a hot dash. You're going to have to go over there with the samples.
Okay, I'll do
By the way,
it.
we're still on Elevate to Greatness.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I hope everyone out there is just killing it. And if you're not, you should tell us you're not, and we can talk a little bit about what might be different in your business than our business. Uh, January was a good month for Rocky Mountain. February was a good month for Rocky Mountain. March is a good month so far. Um, we are we've hit every sales mark, which is cool. Darby's excited about that
That is cool.
because if we're hitting the sales marks, it means Darby's making some money.
Even though I'm in it for the love.
I'm in it for the love. We're gonna start paying you with hugs and kisses.
No, never mind. I'm
Um,
not a hugger. Yeah, never mind.
uh, revenue is over target, and we're actually a little bit ahead on profit, which is really nice because it never works out that way. And I think a lot of it has to do with we have become so Darby. I'm going to change it. Right, obsessed is really a good part of the word, but I was thinking about this the other day, and now the word that I'm going to want to tell you is going to slip my mind. Um, but because we became so obsessed with this process, like that's the change, right? The software, the system, the training. Like I told Rachel the other day, I wish I could just not sleep for a week. Like if I
We
could go
almost did.
1 week and not sleep, that would be amazing. Um, what is the word I'm looking for, Darby? Damn it.
Instead of obsessed.
Yeah, it's when the team is super, 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 like we do exactly what we say we're gonna do. We do it when we say we're gonna do it. If we say we're gonna do it, we do it. Disciplined,
Discipline.
right?
Aligned
Like
and
that is the
disciplined.
difference.
There
We're
it is.
so disciplined right now. It's crazy.
We kind of have to be.
Shoot.
There's really no choice. What?
Somebody has frozen.
I frozen? I'm frozen? Am I frozen or is Nick frozen?
I'm pretty sure it's Nick
Okay.
because
All
I
right,
can
well,
hear you.
There
Okay.
we go.
There,
Sorry.
there
we
he
go.
is. And he's back, everyone. He was trying to go out and hit those golf balls.
That no. So dude, that's the difference. It's obsessed, but really it's disciplined.
Yeah.
Right. Like we're doing what we say we're going to do and we're going to do it. And we're just super, super, super disciplined through the process, right? Through the software process, through the bidding process. You know, we're taking time to do things that people would think are not important right now. I mean, I sat down with Avery today and Nick, and I kind of showed him a few things that are going on behind the scenes and what we're doing and why we're doing it. Forrest was like, hey, you know what he told me? He's like, you got to stop for the day. I can't take anymore. That's exactly what he told me. He's like, that's enough for the day.
Well, I mean, we are, always tweaking and always improving, and then having Avery here again, kind of with in his kind of updated role, is going to be really cool for all of us, me specifically. So
sure.
I think it's going to be, you're always looking at new ways to, you're never like resting and going, all right, it's good, it's perfect. Let's just keep on humming along. It's always like, how can we get better? How can we get better? People, you decide maybe someone's not aligned with us, and so they're not going to work with us anymore. And then typically when that happens lately, you kind of reimagine the position after they leave, which is also kind of a cool thing to see, is just the reimagining of these positions. They're not, when you replace people, they don't just do the exact same thing. You go, well, if we're going to replace them, let's try this. Maybe they can do this. Maybe they can, so that's been cool to see too. And that's definitely been some improvements in our processes along the way for sure.
Yeah. So it's no, it's been good. It's been exciting. It's been a little overwhelming, right? I feel we have 5 people onboarding right now. We have another one starting on Monday. If I could just get this fucking guy Desmond to do his job, that's the big thing. If this guy could just do his job, then we could play sim golf. But instead, I don't get to play sim golf because I have to work all night. No, everyone's just plugging away, and everyone's kind of doing their lift. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts at our business, and as people come in, it can be overwhelming because there's so many things that are very different than what you're probably used to. Especially just the type of work we do, right? Like the type of work we do is very different as well. But it's good. And there's no complaints right now, other than I wish I could stop time for, dude, if I could stop time for 7 days, just 7 days. That someone asked me the other day, they're like, why the hell are you working on Sunday at 4:30 in the morning? I said, because nobody will bother me.
Right.
Like, that's when it just shuts off. Like, I look forward to the weekends, not to like chill and hang out and play video games and play golf and drink beers and do all that kind of stuff. Like, I look forward to the weekends so I can sit in my office and not a soul will bother me. Tim always figures out a fucking way to do it. But most people just leave me alone because they're not working. So, it's just a good time to, as a business owner, the weekends are just a really, really good time to get ahead. One of my mentors back in the day, they used to use the weekends to like get ahead. That is the difference if you're further along or further ahead than other people. We certainly don't stop at 5, 6.
No.
We don't start at 7 or 8 or 9. I think a lot of people get going, and we've probably been at it for 3 hours. Sean called me, or he texted me today, and I texted him back like quickly, and he's like, it's 5:10 in the morning there. I said, I know. He's like, well, you're up early. I said, well, this is just normal for me. It's not really being up early. Like, this is just
right.
what we do. This is when we're at it. This is when we're getting shit done. Because our clients are not reaching out to us at 5:30 in the morning. Right? So it's a really good time for us to do the things that we need to do without distractions.
Some of them are, but yeah, typically they're not.
Yeah. I mean, not so much at 5:30 in the morning, but it's, I mean, dude, I'm excited. I'm really excited. And To be honest, I got off a call like an hour ago from one of my partners in another business who also owns a business in the construction world. And he told me, he said, Nick, it's going to be a tough year. He's like, everyone is hurting. People are calling. Nobody has work, blah, blah, blah. He's like, what are you going to do? I was like, that's certainly not where we're sitting. And we talked
Yeah.
about it. And then he's like, yeah, well, I haven't seen it like this since like 2008. And he's like, those of us that weren't on our toes for marketing, we're basically on our heels now. And I said, dude, it doesn't matter how much work you have. You should never, ever, 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 ever stop marketing. You should always, always, people should know who you are at all times. Dude, there's a lot of guys that I know that are just like straight referral based business. That's why they're stuck. You need people
Right.
to understand who you are and what you're doing at all times. You guys see us all over social media all the time. Um, we're not, well, I don't even think we're overcommitting at this point, Darby. Like, I don't even know if the ads are running that say we can start and build you a pool before Memorial Day or 30 days or less or blah, blah, blah. Like, we have some ads right now that tell you we can get you swimming within 8 days or 9 days or 10 days, which we can
Right.
from the day in which we start. But, um, I mean, on the sales feed on your side, Darby, like, the things that I'm looking at on the back end, like I'm looking at the back end of what you're doing right now, building out some stuff in Aspire, and I can see there's a lot of shit moving.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there is.
I'm certainly not over here thinking, oh my God, what is this like? Because I'm so involved in everything right now, and we have so many new people. Other than our sales meeting, you and I and Nick really, we're not we're not disconnected, but whatever you guys are doing, you're doing, and I don't need to worry about it. It's
Yeah.
just I don't need to focus on that side of the business right this second. And deals are still coming in, and I look at the sales projections and the numbers from the prior months, and every single thing we're expecting to do is happening. So that's always good.
Well, that's also because you put the processes in place that we follow. Like, it's not like we're just out there. It's not like the Wild West where we're just out there going, bang, 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 just doing whatever the hell we want. We are following kind of the procedures, the processes, so that the stuff is getting handled. So
Yeah.
that's a big one. We're not just doing whatever the hell we want. So I think that's a big one. It is Elevate to Greatness with Nick Lippitt every Wednesday at 6 o'clock ish. We do this call live. You can hear the podcast the following day on Spotify. You can head to elevatetogreatness.co to find out more information, to get in on the Heartbeat community and community with us. We are talking about pain points today. So I already see a couple in the chat. If you are on the call, hit them in the chat, and Nick will help you out live and in person. So we already have a couple in there. And we're going to be, when do you want to talk about the next big event? Do you want to talk about it now? Do you want to talk about it at the end?
Um,
Or a teaser anyway?
we'll a tease. There's so many good things. Um, it is in Utah. We'll put it out there, right? That's one. It will be the first weekend of May. So there will be all sorts of different levels of tickets. So depending on what tickets you have, well, the event could start as early as May 1st, and go through the 3rd. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday and Sunday. Uh, here's a little tease for you. If you have, what did they call this? If you have a diamond ticket, your event will start in Colorado and end in Utah. So that's going to be a pretty cool thing, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to get in the room. But the people that are going to be in the room are going to be amazing. And some of the speakers we have coming are going to be amazing. And we are just going to continue to drop bombs for 3 straight days, depending on which part of the rooms you're in. So we're excited. And here's the other thing I'll tell you guys, like, we spare no time when it comes to planning these things. The planning team was on the phone last night. I don't know, it's 9:20. I think we got started somewhere around 9:15. And we just went, like, I texted Nick and I'm like, hey man, I got him on the phone. You want to do this? He's like, let's roll. And so we got on and off and running.
Yeah.
We were just ripping through it, and it was exciting. Like I told him, I said, this is the kind of shit that makes me excited. And it's going to change a lot of people's mindset and the way they run their businesses. And um, I think we do that for a lot of people already, but we want to do this impact on a bigger level. And to be honest, this event, it's not even, it's not about making money at all, right? It's about getting as many people in the room and helping them understand why we do what we do, how we do it, and how it affects their business.
Right. That's what we do here. So it's gonna be exciting. My motherland. It'll be nice. I guess I'll tell my mom I'm coming, so she'll be happy. If nothing else, my mom will be happy.
Let's go,
So that's
mother.
nice. So that's nice. Hey, we are talking about pain points. We have a couple people who have already thrown them in the chat. You can do that if you're on the call. And if you're on the call, we always like to see your damn faces. It's helpful to know that there are real people connected to the phones. We don't let any of those chat bots chat stuff. Well, if you're not here, you're not here. That's how we see it. And if you are here,
I know
we're
takers.
glad you're here. Yeah. We boot those some some of my bitches every time we see them. So we'll keep booting those some of my bitches every time. Do we want to start answering some of these?
Well, I think let's just talk about how we solve problems at Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living.
Okay.
Let's start there and then we'll start rolling into it. I think, and there's, I think the biggest misperception, um, about pain points inside of business and how you solve them. If you think you're going to solve it with money, you're already going down the wrong path. Money will not solve your problems. Doesn't matter how much you throw at it. And it's funny that I'm saying it like this right now because we have an issue. We have an issue on a project right now. Uh, uh, Not thankfully, but we don't think it's an issue coming from Rocky Mountain. We believe it's a manufacturing issue. However, we're looking at ways to solve this problem. And, through a part of those conversations, it's like, hey, what's the number to solve the problem? And I'm like, dude, I don't think there's a number. I don't. I don't think it's about money. Right? I think it's going to be more than that. Um, so, I think that the biggest misperception inside of our entire industry is that money will solve your problem.
Mm.
And the most important thing and the number one thing that will solve any problem inside of your business is people. If you throw people at problems, you will solve them. If you throw money at problems, you will not. And someone could say, yeah, well, I had this problem. I gave the client $5,000 back and the problem was solved. It really wasn't, right? Like they may have stopped bothering you. You think they referred you? I
Right.
think when the neighbor asked how the experience was, they said, great.
Right.
There's more problems than you could ever imagine that are going on behind the scenes, and you think you solved it with money, but you didn't.
No.
Like we're having a problem in one of my businesses in Lake Powell, and my business partner said, Nick, let's just write him a check for 50 grand. I said, it's not going to solve the problem. It is not going to solve the problem. Absolutely no chance. And we are working on solving this problem right now with people and not with money. Because a lot of times it's not a money problem, and the problem that you're facing doesn't get solved with money. Like, I mean, I think I saw a couple people go through, they're talking about like they're having a hard time getting deals closed. Could you throw money at that to get them closed? Probably not.
No.
Could you maybe throw a discount at it, which someone would say would be money? Maybe. But realistically, and this one's always interesting to talk about. You can't close a deal. You throw a discount, which would be money at it to close the deal. However, that didn't solve the problem because the problem got worse because now you're in a position where you're not making money.
Yeah.
That didn't solve it.
Nope.
It may feel like it solved the immediate problem, but it did not solve the problem. So, I think that the biggest thing we do at Rocky Mountain is people, right? Like I had a lady reach out to me today. She has a few pavers that are moved. Could I solve it by saying, hey, I'll just give you a discount? Possibly. But does it solve the problem in the big picture? It doesn't. Just send somebody up there, have them take a look at it, have a conversation with the client, send one of the guys up there, have them remove the pavers, adjust the pavers, do whatever you need to do, put them back, call it good. So, the number one key point to problem solving is people, right? The other thing that I will tell you that, we tell you through this process and on this call and inside of our group, we're going to prevent you from making costly mistakes that we've already made. my biggest issue probably inside of this field is solving problems with quick reaction, right? Like, when you have an issue, just deal with it, right? And deal with it quickly and right away. This is a part of being disciplined,
Mhm.
right? So a part of being disciplined is just getting it done and not letting it linger and linger and linger and linger and linger and linger. And guess what? I'm going to tell you right now. I can think of 5 problems that I am trying to deal with right now that have been lingering, and the problem is worse because of it. If I would have just dealt with it in a quicker manner, the problem will probably be gone by this point. And now I feel all this pressure on me, or all this pressure is on my chest because I let it linger, right? I let a few of them linger, and then a few more came on, and now I'm like, fuck. Oh, is this ever going to go away? Right. But if I would have just dealt with them quickly, it wouldn't have been a problem.
No, and
So,
the energy drain and all. Yeah,
dude, the energy drain is crazy.
dude,
Like,
it's so bad. Yeah.
I mean, I know I have a lot of team on here, and so, um, I also don't really hold back, and I'm extremely transparent in everything I do. But the energy drain sometimes, and you do not see it in my office, there are definitely days where I'm like, fuck, man, this would be so much easier if I was just sitting behind a desk building this shit for somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, did LifeSkates reached out and said, hey, can you build the back end of our business? You know, what would the, like, but I would never be happy, right?
No.
Like, I live for I live for chaos and problems. Like, there are days when I want to do it for myself where I could just sit down and shut everything off for 48 hours and just go crazy on the back end of the system. But I certainly don't think I can do it for anybody else.
It wouldn't be the same for you.
No. And like, when I'm doing it for the people in Elevate, that's rewarding as hell, right? Like, I'm solving it for these guys inside of their business. Just got a side text that was funny. Uh, um, so there you go. There's my distractions. That's the problem with me. No, I think that there's plenty of days where I'm like, man, well, I like Darby. I think, what would it be like to just go home at 6 o'clock and not really be like, all right, what the fuck am I gonna do? What's next? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? Like, I totally spaced it yesterday. One of Bennett texted me and he's like, hey bro, where's my snow logs? And I'm like, oh my God. It was like 10:45 and I was like, I guess I'll do them right now.
Yeah.
Let's go. So um I think there's days that are harder than others, and there's definitely some days that are exhausting, but you just got to push through it, right? And so the first one is solving problems with people. The second one is solving problems with purpose. Um, why do you do what you do? And if the only reason you do what you do is for money, you'll never make it. It's plain and simple. You're just not going to make it. If you're trying to sell deals, ask Darby about this one. Darby, let's talk about this one for a minute because you've gone through this, I think, at least twice now. I mean, Avery went through it at least once when he worked for me, if not twice. If you are selling projects to clients just to make money, what happens?
Yeah. It doesn't. It doesn't.
I mean,
No.
so what was it? Maybe late October or November, half of December
Oh,
that you have, like, dude, we all kind of go in these little dips, but like in your head, you're like, fuck, I just need a deal. I just need a deal. I just need a deal. I just need a deal so I can get a paycheck, right? Like, I just need a deal so I can get the next project rolling, right? It's not like that's not going to happen.
it's not going to happen. In my position, people smell it. They're like,
Oh, yeah.
this guy's needy. And I'll tell you that the last several I've gone on after I've left, they were like, man, I got the feeling that like you'll be good if you don't get this job. I'm like, yeah. I mean, we'd love to work with you, but yeah, we're lucky. We're very busy. So I think, that's a whole other different thing when someone I thought that was really cool actually when they were like, I get the sense that you're not desperate to get this work. And respectfully, we're not desperate to get this work, but they do smell it when you are. They do smell it when you're like, oh my God, I'm not gonna make my mortgage this month. They feel it. So yeah, if you're doing it just for money, it's gonna be noticed by them, and it's not gonna work. Because I did, we all hit our dry spells, and I did have one, and it does start to feel desperate, and you do go, oh fuck,
The dry spells are limited or minimal
they are,
if you sell with a purpose,
yeah,
right? Like, dude, the lady yesterday, I was kind of listening from the back, And like I heard her say, she's like, Darby, I need to get on your schedule. Like if
Yeah.
I don't get on your schedule, I'm not going to swim this summer. And you're like,
Yeah.
you choose. You
Right.
want to be on my schedule? Just sign the deal. Here you go.
Right.
Right? Like
Very simple process.
it
Give us-
wasn't.
yeah.
It's the exact same situation, but when the script is flipped, right? Like, hey, you need to get on this deal, right? Like we're getting busy. Like the schedule's going to fill up. Like we do some of it sometimes, but I got a truck coming. Like I got to get you this. Like they sense that when you kind of have it like this fuck it mindset. They're like, the table turns and they realize that they need to make a move, or they're not going to be able to work with us. And that's the best feeling, right? Like, I mean, how many of them have right now? I think you have like 3 or 4 or 5 of them right now that are all in this position where they're like, holy shit, if we don't figure this out with Rocky Mountain soon, we're in trouble.
Yeah. And they're not small little jobs either. So yeah,
How many jobs that just give you a check and say, put me on your schedule?
No,
How
I
about
mean,
the guy that you just closed today? He gave somebody else a check to put him on the schedule and he regretted that one.
he does. They regretted it too because we took all of their money.
What you should have done? You should have been like, hey, Troy, oops.
Oh,
Hey, man, you guys could take the site cleanup. You want the site cleanup? Like when we're divvying this up, why don't you guys do the demo, and the plantings and then do the site cleanup? You could come in and do the rest. Maybe the restoration too. The restoration would be a good one.
not far off.
Well, here's a perfect example, right? We have a client that we just signed a project with. He gave a $50,000 deposit to another company and he called us in after the fact. The project's like 400-ish, Darby. 400-ish. And he kind of had an oh shit moment, right? He kind of had a moment where he was like, maybe this isn't the right company. And then that company came at him like desperation. Hey man, where are you at? Hey, we're going to start as early as next Monday. Hey, I need you to do this. Hey. And he turned.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where the deposit's not refundable. And how awkward is this? Calls us into his home, them into his home, and says, here's the deal. We're moving forward with both of you. The 50 that I gave you, we're going to sit down and we're going to figure out what you can do. And everything else is going to Rocky Mountain. Was that the first time that's happened, Darby?
That was the first time that has happened. Yes. I
What
mean,
did that guy say when you left?
He just said, wow, you guys really have all the hard stuff. I'm like, yeah, we do. We do have all the hard stuff. I mean, he was a nice enough guy and it was just, he was professional about it and I was professional about it. And it
Well,
just,
of course. I mean, that company would be.
yeah.
Like they're
Yeah,
not
they're
going
quality. Yeah. Yeah. So,
I mean,
here's
the other thing. Dude, the company's big enough. I mean, they care. But
No,
they
they're
don't
fine.
They don't fucking care.
No, they're fine.
Right? Like every deal we lose, the next best deal just comes around the corner.
Well, and if they wouldn't it be fine? I wouldn't be making jokes about it either. I mean, obviously I want the business, but I don't want to hurt another company either. So
No.
knowing they're going to be fine makes it something that we can kind of talk about more than if it was somebody that would, be like, oh shit, they're not going to be able to pay their bills now this month. They're fine.
Yeah.
And
But you take it from them too, wouldn't you, you little bastard?
I mean, hey man, I have a job. And my job is, during Elevate, our job is to help other people. When I'm selling for Rocky Mountain, my job is to sell for Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living.
For sure.
So, and I don't want commission breath, Justin. That's funny.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Yeah. So again, it's about making, I do walk into everyone's house with the idea that like, hey man, like they can't get, I can get them a swimming pool, but like they can't do it without me. So, they might have 1 or 2 other options, but they need me there. So I definitely go in with that attitude. I don't go in with the attitude like, oh, I'm so lucky to be in your house right now. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate their time, but they should appreciate ours too. So
I said this at Belgrade U. They talked about sales, and I was on this like panel, and a few people answered it, and then they moved to the next question. And then I asked the moderator to bring it back to the last question. And he's like, yeah, okay. And the question was something along the lines of, hey, I've been in sales for a really, really, really long time. And my last job, I sold cars and I was a top salesperson. And now I'm in this outdoor living space and I'm struggling and I can't close deals. And the answers were okay, right? Like they were decent answers. However, the answer is very easy and very clear, right? Like the problem is that you're walking into people's homes and you're trying to sell them something.
Mhm.
You're not there to figure out what the fucking problem is, right? Like, what is the problem and how can I solve it for you?
Yeah.
Right. You're not there to educate. You're there to sell. When I walk in the door as an educator, and you walk in the door as sales, Darby, you know that deal over there in Roxborough I told you about?
Yeah.
He's blowing me up like crazy. And I'm so busy I can't respond to him. And he's like, Nick, what's the deal? Where are we at? What? But like, it's just the tables turned
Right.
because I didn't walk in trying to sell him something. I walked in and I educated him. I figured out what his problem was, and then I figured out how to solve it. Right. So if you guys are having a hard time closing deals right now, and you're like, oh, people aren't spending money or they're not, he said, I can't get anybody to commit. And I said, I'm going to tell you right now what your problem is. You haven't solved their problem. That's why they haven't committed.
Right.
So they're going to go to the next contractor and figure out who can solve their problem. That and the I don't even know what the percentage of that transaction is. But if you are walking in the door, educating a client, understanding the problem, and then solving it, you're 99% more likely that the deal is going to come your way than just walking in the door and selling it. Dude, I love my competitors because they walk in and they're like, oh, yeah, we're talking about Rocky, talking about those guys suck, right? They're all over social media and they just lie about shit. And those are the Tesla guys. I hear this all the time. Those are the Tesla guys. They just zip around town in Teslas,
Yeah, we do.
right? Like, dude, how about our boy from the Garden and Home Show, right? His shit is all over my phone right now again. 30% off,
Oh my God,
50%
yeah.
off,
We'll
buy
start
one, get
next
one free.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Best deal of the year. We'll start next Tuesday.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
some shit.
sale, transactional. You can have all those fucking deals. I don't want them.
Nope.
Those transactional deals are bullshit.
They are.
That is not how you grow and scale a business.
No, we're not talking about shoes, man. Like you're selling shoes, fine. Do a discount, do a BOGO if you're selling shoes, but we're not selling shoes over here. That to me is a super big red flag. I don't think
Their stuff right now is so desperate.
It's brutal.
Unbelievable.
It is. I've seen it and it's sad. It's brutal. Well, he was, recording himself in front of our booth last year. So whatever.
Oh, I got to tell you what I did. I don't think I told you. So his ad came up on my phone in our booth last year. I filled out the form and I put my email. What did I put? I put dipshit at hiscompanyname.com. And first name, I put what did I put use your own, and last name I put Garden and Home Show booth. I filled the whole form out and submitted it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
that was gross. That was gross when he was doing that for sure. It was gross.
iPhone wants to know who we're talking about. However, if iPhone doesn't tell us who they are, I can't tell you who we're talking about.
Yeah, who are you, iPhone? That's the problem.
Yeah, seriously. So I think that, and we'll go through some of these, and some of these will probably be repeats to them. But if you're struggling on the sales side, it's probably too transactional, and especially if you're dealing with people who are
That doesn't help though.
who are a little bit more wealthy, I guess, influential, whatever you want to say. Dude, when people come in the office and they want to talk to me, like one of our subcontractors came in the office yesterday to ask me something. And I told Rachel, I said, I don't have fucking time for this.
Right.
Like you can't walk in the door and just expect to talk to me. I'm busy.
Yeah.
When you go to someone's home, they're busy.
Right.
They've given you a window to come to their house, which is usually not a very big window, right? And they're going to tell you what their problem is, and you're going to educate them, and then you're going to talk to them about how you're going to solve it, and they're going to go back and do their job, and your problem is to solve, and your job is to solve it.
Right.
Like, if you think about all the jobs we sell, Darby, you could be like, yeah, Nick, well, I'm looking at that swimming pool. What's the problem? If that's how you're thinking, you're missing the picture, right? The problem is that they don't have a space to create fucking memories with their family. The problem is that their kids are banging on the door all summer, right? The problem is that they don't have a place for their children to grow up. The problem is that their kids are going to homecoming and prom and going to somebody else's houses and not there. They don't have control of what's going to happen. If you can't see the problem, you're the problem. There
Yeah.
is a problem in every single deal. They wouldn't call you if there wasn't a problem, right? Like they're looking for a swimming pool and there's a reason behind it and there's a problem. They need a space, right? Like the one we're building right now in Colorado Golf. The problem is that their backyard sucks. The problem is that they cannot use it. The
Yeah.
problem is that there is no place to go. They could walk to the swimming pool. However, the problem is that they don't want to spend time in public, right? His wife might not want to wear a bathing suit at the clubhouse, right? Like there's so many reasons it's crazy. You just have to figure out what it is. Darby, what are some of the questions that you ask in your consultations that tell you what it is you need to do to solve the problem?
Yeah. I always ask people, like how they envision using the space. Like, look, imagine yourself using it. How are you going to use the space? And that's a question I ask every damn time because people
Take
sometimes-
notes, bitches.
yeah,
Ask
people,
the fucking question right
Yeah.
there.
people stop and go, oh, right. So yeah, I was thinking. So then they start talking about, that the one about, people's kids, like we want to know where our kids are going to hang out. That's a massive one. People say that a lot, but yes, how are you going to use the space? Because people don't think of it that way necessarily. They're like, yeah, I want a swimming pool. But when you ask them that question, they start feeling why they want it. It's not just brain anymore. Then it becomes heart. Then it becomes emotional a little bit. And, then a conversation starts. And at that point, I've stopped. They don't look at me as someone who's trying to sell them shit anymore. It's like, oh, he actually is interested in what's going on here, and it changes the whole thing. So I start with that every damn time.
It is so simple, right?
It is.
Darby, how many times have you been on a consultation where you've asked that question and people have said, you're the only one who's asked me that?
Oh yeah, almost always. You can tell by the way they answer it that no one else asked them that.
They're caught off guard.
Yeah, it's really
like,
simple.
I tell them all the time, like, do you have any children? Do you like to entertain? Like, how do you see yourself using the space? If you had the space outside, how would it affect your day-to-day life? Like, I didn't put a simulator in my garage because I fucking wanted one. I put a simulator in my garage because my problem was I wasn't good enough at golf. Right? Like when the guy came here, he asked me, he said, Nick, what are you trying to accomplish? What is it that you're looking to do? He said, hey, are you just trying to drink beers with your buddies and slap balls into the screen? I said, no. And so he immediately asked me what the problem was. He figured out what the problem was. He educated it, right? And then he solved the problem. And so through the process, he knew what it is that I wanted to do this. He didn't just try to sell me a product. He said, Nick, based on all the things that you are trying to accomplish and what you're trying to do, this is what I would recommend, right? This will give you the readings that you need. This will allow you to do this. This will allow you to do this. This will allow you to have this from a practice session. This will allow you to join our competitions, right? This will give you the most accurate readings of your statistics, right? If you just want to drink some beers and slap balls into the screen and have fun with your buddies and play scramble golf, who cares what the readings on the actual machine are, right? But if you are, so sometimes I'll go in the garage and I will take, I think I have 48 golf balls in this bag. And I will tell myself that I'm going to hit balls 60 feet. And I will give myself plus or minus 8 feet. Or yards, sorry. And I will start hitting the balls in the screen. And if I exceed 8 yards forward or backwards, I put all the balls back and start over. Right? So like it solves my problem what I'm trying to do. Like these people that we're selling these spaces to, right? Their decks suck. Their backyards suck. One of the biggest problems on new builds, let me tell you what the number one problem is on new builds. They have dogs that go outside and rip through the dirt and then jump on their $12,000 couch. That's a big problem.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Like, and how are you going to solve it? And how quickly are you going to solve it? A lot of times it's not about the money. It's about the problem. And the other thing on the sales side, what are you doing for them to trust you? People do business with people they trust.
Yes.
I walked in the door. I didn't try to sell you something. I educated you. Then I understood what your problem was. Then I provided you a solution to the problem. All of that process created trust. And then I did business with you. Dude, all your best deals, Darby, how many of them asked about price?
No.
How about our buddy over in Parker? that we
Yeah.
built last year's giant project.
Right.
You
No,
know,
it
in fact, the trust was so good. He said, I don't have a penny over. What was the number?
a lot less than he ended up having enough pennies for.
And he spent almost double.
Yeah.
What did he tell you after the first meeting when I left? He said, do you remember?
Yes, because you said it was going to be, say, by the time you're finished here, it's going to be this number, and you were pretty much right on. He was like, "Yeah, Nick really shouldn't say that to people. He really shouldn't say that to people." It's like,
I
well,
bet you trusted me.
yeah, I mean, and it was that. So I think no, and then that's another huge thing too. Like, when you talk about trust, it's actually giving somebody guidance too. Like if they ask you a question, don't be wishy-washy and be like, well, whatever you think it should be. Tell
Yeah.
them, you know about what if the swimming pool they want for that space is a shitty swimming pool for that space, tell them it's not the right pool and tell them why. Like, and if they're hell bent on it, fine, but they want guidance from you. I've had so many of these people that I've made the mistake of just going, well, whatever you would like. And man, they don't want to hear that from you. They want to have
Definitely.
someone in their house that knows what the hell they're talking about. And if they don't know more than you do about pools or about whatever you're selling. And if they do, you better change that real quick. But and then you don't want them to think they know more than you either. So give them some guidance. People want guidance. They want, if they're giving you that kind of money, they want to know that whoever they're giving that money to knows what the hell they're doing and they can guide them in the right direction. So that's a big one too. It is Elevate to Greatness with Nick Lippitt. Every Wednesday-ish. Every Wednesday at 6-ish o'clock, we do this. You can head to elevatetogreatness.co, listen to the podcast the following day on Spotify if you missed some of it. We are going to be answering some questions still, so you can get those in. We're talking about pain points. We're talking about why people aren't, because a lot of people put in the chat, hey, we're not able to get things over the finish line. We're not able to, close these deals. So we kind of ended up talking about that for the last little bit anyway.
Yeah. It's I'm going to bring this up and then we'll get straight into the questions. If you find yourself frustrated because of the process of another contractor, think about everything we just said, right? It's actually a benefit to you. Like if you walk in and another contractor said that they could build it for less than you, if they could start sooner than you, if they could build it faster than you, right? They walked in the door and they're trying to sell, right? They're trying to sell on a number. They're trying to sell on what it is they can do, how fast they can do it, and the timeline in which it takes. No relationship, no value, no education, no problem solving. They just walked in the door trying to sell a transaction.
Right.
If I heard a customer say that, I'd be like, awesome. Well, he just took himself out of the picture.
Yeah.
I don't care. I am here to educate you. Right. So, blah, said this. Oh, okay. Well, let me educate you a little bit on my process and why I think it's going to take the time I think it's going to take. Tell them what you tell them.
Yep.
Oh, well, they said it's going to be X amount of dollars. Okay. Well, let me educate you on why it's going to be the cost that I'm going to tell you it's going to be. Right. They said they could build this project in 2 weeks. They could start in 2 weeks. Okay. Well, that's fine. Again, my job here is not to sell you a product. It's here to help educate you. Let me tell you why we can't build this in 2 weeks. We got to get engineering. We got to pull a permit. We got to go through HOA planning. Like, you just educate them on 3 items that basically overqualified you. You never once said, well, yeah, he's a dipshit.
Right.
Right. Like the guys that I compete against, I love it because they're like, yeah, those guys at Rocky, they're just cocky. They drive Teslas. And they overcommit on social media and they tell everybody they can build a pool in 9 days. And that's a fucking lie. Right. Like they just talk shit about me.
Right.
Yeah. I used to build pools with him. We don't build pools together anymore because he's an asshole. He doesn't deliver. Clients hate him. Have you seen his 1-star review lately? Can you believe that? Right. Like that's what they do. We don't ever do that.
Never. Even if the guy is a dipshit or an asshole, we don't say that.
We often compliment him, even though it hurts. It does hurt sometimes. It hurts.
Yeah.
No,
it's true.
Rachel, come here. Yeah. So those are some of the things, right? And here's the thing, Darby, like those things we just said for free, right? We just literally told you exactly what to say a client to add more value for free.
Yeah.
Like every Wednesday, We just keep doing this and we just keep feeding you information and feeding you information, feeding you information, and it will significantly change your business.
I'm telling you, if you walk into someone's house and just say what we've just said, it's going to change how your appointments, your consultations go immediately. It will change them immediately because you'll change the position that you're in. You're not like if you're ever doing this like one call close horse shit stuff where you're walking in and going like there are people who will come in and go, if you sign for this pool today, we can. If you're doing that, you're going down the wrong path too. Because again, you're not selling shoes, man. It's a whole different deal. So those things that we talked about will absolutely make your consultations go much better, whether you're zipping around in a cocky Tesla or not.
It's not a transactional business, you know. The next time, so like for the guys here that are in Colorado, this weekend, figure out a way to end up at Cherry Creek Mall and walk in the Rolex store, and then walk in Louis Vuitton, and then walk in Tudor, and then walk in Tiffany's, and look at what they do. They don't try to sell you a transaction. Right? It's not transactional. Like they ask you questions that follow the exact same process. It doesn't matter what you're selling, right? It doesn't matter if the product you're selling is $500 or $600 or 50,000 or a million, right? Like it is still a relationship process.
Absolutely. It absolutely is. And again, like we talk about this a lot, like it's their home. So there is emotion involved. Their kids live there. Their dogs live there. Their weird pet ferrets or whatever they have live there. So there is a connection that they have with this that is different. And again, like you always, like their kids are going to swim in that pool. Their family's going to hang around that fire pit or cook food in that outdoor kitchen. It's a different deal. So you always have to be aware of that stuff when you're talking to people. So that's another big one. There's some
Calvin
side chats going on.
Paypoint. That's real nice. I'll
Calvin
remember that. I'll remember that on Friday morning.
No,
I'm supposed to be on at 7 o'clock.
That was I asked who is Frozen, and he said Nick
Oh.
is.
Well, you put your pain points, and he put Nick is.
That's the best. Maybe he was saying you were his pain point, Calvin. If that's what you were saying, that's the that's the
All right.
best.
Closing projects. I would tell you we touched on a little bit. We can touch on a little bit more. 1.2 million in proposals out right now, and can't get anyone to commit, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, dude, and so now, there's some really strategic moves here. So like, if we're at a point where we have $1.2 million worth of proposals out the door, and we've followed the process, right? So what I would tell you is if you have those people lingering, there's a chance that whatever their problem was, you missed it or you didn't solve it 100%. They felt like you were selling and not educating. Maybe there's a little bit of trust value concern there. But let's just say you did it. Like you did do all those things. Just call them up, right? Like, Joseph, get on the phone and just call them and say, hey, listen, guys, I'd really love to work for you. What is something that I can do to earn your business, right? I think a lot of people will say, what is there something I can do today to earn your business? I think that's probably more of an over phone transactional type sale.
Yeah.
Ours are much bigger than that, right? Like, is there something that I can do to help earn your business? Is there something else that I can do to help earn your trust, right? What is it that you're hesitating about? And then see what they say, right? And then solve the problem, and don't turn around and take it and try to transactionally sell them something back. I think sometimes, dude, this was crazy for me. Avery and I were working together. The first year he was here, it was in October, and I had just gone through some of Grant's sales training. And it's so basic. However, everyone's afraid to do it. Just call them and ask for the sale. Just ask for it, right? Like that month in October, it was October, Avery, and that month of October has screwed up our projections for like 4 years now.
Yeah, thanks, Avery.
We sold $1.2 million worth of shotcrete swimming pools in the month of October. In every single one of those deals, like Avery and I went together and we were going through them. And I remember they were like, yeah, this looks good. Just so this would be good for you too, Darby. Especially in the showroom, because I feel like this is something that We get it, but it takes a minute. And through the minute, sometimes it becomes stressful. The very first one was a swimming pool in Denver. And he said, yeah, Nick, everything looks good. I got to move some money around. Send me over the paperwork and I'll get it taken care of. And I said, why don't you just put the deposit on a credit card today? And he goes, okay. And I literally, listen to this. I swiped the card. I did some work. We did the engineering. I can't remember. The deposit was like 35 or 40 grand. To this day, we still haven't built the pool.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
But he committed and he knew, and we did what we needed to do. Right. And so, like, if I would have let him wait 72 more hours, what would have happened? Right. I'm not in business to take deposits. That is certainly not what we do. So then we went to build a shotcrete swimming pool over in Aurora. And Avery was with me, this one. And she was like, yeah, I just got to move some money around, blah, 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 blah. I said, let's just put you on the schedule today. Why don't you want to just swipe your credit card? And she pulled her Amex out and we just swiped it. Yeah. You just don't know what's going to happen, right? Like there's a lot of deals. Like yesterday's deal, Darby, you feel really good about it. You're not concerned, right?
No, it's done. Yeah.
But you just don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's true.
How about the people in Greenwood Village right now that owe us how much money? If they were in the process, like we don't know exactly what's happening right this second, but we know there's a problem.
Yeah.
If they had left the office, committed, and 72 hours went by, and whatever has happened to happen to them right now, they would have bounced.
Yeah, maybe so.
So you just don't know what will change their mind. Yeah. Our buddy in Denver gave him a $50,000 deposit, and they still lost the fucking deal.
Yeah, it's true.
How did that one go over?
No, it is true. You don't want to think about it over the weekend. That you definitely, if you can, kind of help push them across the line. We've talked about having them in the showroom, being able to just tap. We have it. We have that. Is that ready to go?
Ready to go.
Good. So that is now, something that we're going to allow, have people doing, because we did have times for people like, hey, can I swipe a credit card? And I wasn't able to do it right then. So now we have it ready to go. So people can just tap that shit. We're going to have a sign over that just says, tap that shit in neon, big neon sign, tap that shit. And they're going to tap that shit and they're going to get on our calendar. So but it is like, make it easy for people to give you their money too. Don't make it hard for them to give you their money. That's another thing, just take their money if they want to give it to you.
Swipe the card. Just swipe the card.
Swipe the card.
So yeah, I think that for those of you who are on the sales side right now and you're struggling to close, call every single deal tomorrow and say exactly that. Don't ever use the F word. Don't ever use the F word. Right?
And I like circling back. What about touching base? How do you feel about that one?
I love Nick Forrest says it. I hear him all the time. Hey, I just finally found a minute to call you back. It's been super busy over here. Right? Did you have any questions about that proposal? Is there anything that you need me to change? What is it that I can do today to earn your business? Right? How can I help educate you through the process? Yeah. Figure out some lines like that are going to help push it over the edge. Even if you don't get it on the phone, they're going to hang up the phone and be like, I certainly didn't feel like Joseph was going to call me and ask me how he could help educate me to get me to a point where I could make a decision.
Right.
There's more value. Right? Like all of a sudden they were potentially thinking about doing business with somebody else and you called and made that phone call.
Yeah.
Too many of us are waiting for the phone to ring and people to call us back to commit.
No, it is true. It is true. I'm taking some pictures of some of these questions because we're going to run out of time.
I just talked about this the other day. It takes 7 touch points on average to close a deal. Yet 80% of salespeople do not follow up after the first call.
It's true.
Like how many? So I was talking to my business partner today in the call and he's like, Nick, I'm just struggling. I'm just doing this. I can't do this. I can't do that. I said, hey, why don't you just reach out to the people you've already done business with? He's like, what? I was like, yeah. He's like, you mean, should I just call the people I've already done work for? I'm like, yeah, man. Go back for the last 3 years and pick up the phone. Hey, it's so-and-so with so-and-so. I was thinking about you today and your project, and I just want to see how it was going. And if you happen to have any other projects around the house that you might be interested in doing, Or how many of those projects did you bid on that they didn't do? Second money is the easiest, right? They might be like, man, it happened with every single person who sold here. It happened with Danny. It happened with Avery. It happened with Darby. It happened with Forrest. It happened with MG. Whenever we get a new salesperson, we basically make them hit the phones for a month. And they call people we've already talked to. And there was multiple times with all of those people who were like, I was just literally thinking about this project.
Right.
Or, yeah, we actually are thinking about this project. And we called a couple other contractors out here. Well, we clearly missed the mark on that if we weren't memorable enough for you to call us back.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and I think sales is probably the big pain point for everybody right now because it's that time of the year. The other thing that I'm telling a lot of guys inside the program, sell a product that other people don't sell. How many people can bid you a paver patio?
Everyone.
How many people? Well, I mean, even better for me. How many people in Colorado can you call to get a paver patio put in your backyard, Darby?
A lot.
How many people can you call to get a Thursday pool put in your backyard?
One.
How many people can you call to put a Merce Spa cocktail pool in your backyard?
That would be one.
Right. So like, MG closed the deal. I'll never forget. He told me he's like, you're not gonna believe what the guy said to me. I said, what's that? He said, well, I have no choice but to do business with you. I just laughed. I thought it was hilarious.
That's nice.
Yeah. You have no choice but to do business to me. Cool. Where's your checkbook?
I'm going to start every appointment that way from now on.
Yeah. If you want this product, unfortunately, there's nobody else you can use. So you want to move forward or not?
Yeah. Where all you got? Where's your card? Yeah. That's how we'll start.
But those are good business moves, right? We've put ourselves in a position with some exclusivity.
Yeah.
When I talked to Thursday Pools the first time, they were like, yeah, we'll bring a dealership to Colorado. I said, fine. However, I didn't sold one pool. Not one. They didn't know anything about me. I wasn't even pool trained. I said, I will fly to Indianapolis. I will sign this contract and I will commit to building pools with you guys. But I will only do it if you commit to exclusivity with Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living. And if I don't perform, you can take it away. And they said, okay, fine.
Right.
It was a win-win. Like I literally said, I want exclusivity. However, if I don't perform, you can take my exclusivity away.
Yeah. What are they going to
And nothing has changed since. I mean, we're like, I'm going on 5 years, 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
So put yourself in a position where you're selling a product. You know, I tell the guys in the carpentry world, they're like, Nick, there's not like, you can't be exclusive with Trex or TimberTech. You're right. You can't. However, every dingling can build a deck. How many guys can actually start building roof additions and attach to your house and tie into your roofing, right? Without flooding the house. I thought I could do it, but I flooded one house before I figured it out, you know, right? Like, it wasn't because I didn't know what I was doing. We didn't tarp the roof in the driest month of Colorado, and apparently it rained in that 1 mile stretch, but you know, it is what it is. Like when we're marketing and strategically putting ourselves in front of clients, we're putting them in front of them for services that most people don't do. I've already eliminated bidding against 25 other contractors. My friend told me today, he's like, Nick, every single job I go to, there's like 8 or 10 guys bidding it. I'm like, yeah, man, because everybody can build a fucking bathroom. What can you do inside of the house that separates you from what they do? Right? Not everybody can do a pop top, right? Not everybody can do an addition, you know, like putting in windows and doors and flooring and drywall and paint and kitchen and cabinets. Okay, that's easy.
Yep.
Think about what you can do inside of someone else, inside of someone's home that most contractors can't do, and then advertise that product.
Right. I mean, you did that with us too, with, you know, combining services that most people don't combine. You know, I think that's another thing with, you know, we don't just do the pool and leave, we do all of it. So I think that's another thing that, you know, that you had us do that not everybody else was doing. So there are ways to set yourselves apart. It is time for you to go, what are you saying? It slap some balls against the screen. And I don't know what kind of party that is, but you said that's what you're going to do. So it is.
Yeah,
it is
Avery
time
and
for
I are
that.
going to go slap each other's balls in the simulator.
Well, we do have a couple of questions, and we'll try to get to those next week. So Cody,
Yeah, we're going to answer questions every single week.
So we'll answer those questions. So that's what we want to do. So head to elevatetogreatness.co. We are going to be back in Utah in May 2nd, 3rd. That's what we said. Yeah, May 2nd and 3rd, and there are going to be different options. Maybe you could get the diamond package. Maybe you could. So we'll give you all the information on that. Just stay close to elevatetogreatness.co. Get in on the Heartbeat community. The podcast is going to be available for you tomorrow if you missed some of it or just want to listen to it again. Nick, do you have any final thoughts, final words?
Get on the phone and ask somebody for a sale tonight. And then when you close them, call me and tell me how much it is so I can get my commission check.
There it is. Take notes, bitches. We'll see you next Wednesday at 6-ish o'clock. It's Elevate to Greatness.